Things are different around here. Vandy's a winner, a ranked team, proven results, and a confident strut into an SEC showdown like this. Their Star Walk pregame tradition, it comes with more hometown hype than most can ever remember, and with good reason. Top 10 LSU has arrived. The Tigers have a dominating defense and well-founded title hopes. Quarterback Garrett Nussmeier feels the best is still ahead of him this year. But it's going to take a big effort to see who's singing a victory song today in Music City. From the renovated First Bank Stadium here in Nashville, we welcome you to the SEC on ABC, as ABC College Football is presented by Starbucks. Folks, this is a rare event at Vandy. Just the third time in the last 75 years that Vandy is hosting a ranked versus ranked game. Oh, and there's a lot of purple and gold that has come to Music City. Number 10 LSU, number 17 Vanderbilt, and the All-State Playoff Predictor, it frames the importance of this game. Yeah, the winner stays in contention, but look at what happens to the playoff percentages with a loss today. Thrilled you're with us to get your SEC football Saturday started. Joe Tessitore alongside Jesse Palmer. Listen, there's two sides to LSU this year. The defense has held 5 of 6 opponents to 10 points or fewer. But it's the offense where you see the struggles, because they've yet to score 25 points against an FBS program, Jesse.
Yeah, they're a top 10 team, but they've got to play with a chip on their shoulder, and they've got to have that underdog mentality. They are the underdog in this one, and you're absolutely right about the defense, Joe. This is a playoff caliber defense at LSU. They went to the portal, brought in a lot of talent on the D-line and in the secondary. Guys are flying around. It's the best defense Brian Kelly has had in LSU. The issue, though, is the offense. So many expectations this season. Haven't been able to run the ball great. Garrett Nussmeier, quarterbacks, made some bad decisions. He's turning the ball over. He's had to fight through an oblique injury. They think now he's on the other side of that. So they think this offense is really going to take off here in the second half of the season. They're going to need that offense today. They've got to play well if they're going to beat Vandy.
You see Vandy getting ready to make their entrance here. They've got a lot of confidence. They've got a brash and bold quarterback in Diego Pavia, and they reflect that as here they come. The first time in recorded history they've ever been favored against a ranked team. We'll be back with kickoff after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
It's a game of action. We talked about jumping them off the bus, yes?
Yes, sir.
So we take the first act on this field today. Then it becomes a game of response. Let's be proud of how we respond. Everything we need is right here. It's all within us and among us. Tap into that. Be the most connected team. Be the most physical team. Play the hardest on that field today, and we'll get what we want at the end. Make sure we keep the mission in mind. What's the mission? Make sure we stay in the present. What do we say to stay in the present? Everything you need, let's go get it.
Well, Clark Lee's expecting a big response from his star quarterback, Diego Pavia. We're told Pavia took some time to get over that Alabama loss. This is a guy that absolutely hates to lose more than he loves to win. And we asked him yesterday, what allowed you to finally get over and move on? He said, quote, "We'll see Alabama again. I just hope they keep winning so we can face them again." This is a guy that does not lack for confidence, but he did admit in that game in the second half, he and his teammates got tight. They held on too tight. He said, today we have to win the time of possession game. When we possess the ball, we're loose and free. That's when they're at their best, Tess.
Vandy won the toss. They elected to defer. So, Jesse, that means we say hello to Garrett Nussmeier, who, when you start putting things into perspective all time, he's racking up a pretty good career at LSU.
Yeah, he's in his 5th year, Joe, and he's a prototypical pocket passer. Gets it out quick. He's accurate. Throws well under duress. The issue, though, this year has been decision-making. He's thrown 5 interceptions. He's lucky he didn't throw a few more. And I think in this game against what is an aggressive Vanderbilt defense, he's got to be very disciplined with the football and make good choices.
Now, he tweaked his ankle last week, but played through it. They don't feel like it'll be much of a factor today. It is taped up. As Durham will look for something, but he finds nothing, just trying to get his back to the line of scrimmage. Longwell with the tackle as impact players, Jesse, are brought to you at Fairfield by Marriott.
Well, it starts with Caden Durham at running back. You just saw him there running between the tackles and outside. Trey Des Green is a 6'7" big weapon, especially in the red zone. Nick Rinaldi at linebacker, big on third down, and C.J. Hurd for Vanderbilt, a human heat-seeking missile playing the safety position.
We'll key in on Nick Rinaldi for Vandy from Dover, Massachusetts, a former walk-on who has put forth a great effort with the winning ways here. 2nd and 10 for Nussmeier, as he's able to connect with Barian Brown, the transfer from Kentucky. Tackle made by Longwell again.
Now, I know they didn't get the first down there, but that's a big deal for LSU. They want to stay out of third and very long situations, because in this down and distance, this is where Vanderbilt likes to load the line of scrimmage with a lot of pass rushers. And then you're playing that guessing game. Who's coming, who's bailing? It can be very difficult to decipher on this down and distance.
3rd down and 6. Nussmeier to the outside as he's looking to connect with Kyle Parker, and he does so for a Tigers first down.
Well, there was a blitz that time, and Langston Patterson almost got to Garrett Nussmeier. He had to beat the blitz with the throw. Not a lot of velocity on this one, but he gets it out to Kyle Parker just in time for him to get 2 feet down.
11-yard reception by Parker. As Barian Brown, of course, a guy that they want to try to get into space. Patterson with the tackle.
Well, LSU only runs the ball 40% of the time, but on quick screen throws like that, that's basically an extension of the run game for them. And Barian Brown, the transfer from Kentucky, is a guy they want to get the ball more too. Not just on go routes, but use his speed, but on screens like that as well.
See the rush offense and the struggles that they have had. Of course, 2 tackles from last year off to the NFL from that offensive line. Nussmeier, as he's able to connect past midfield to Barian Brown. He was a huge part of the Kentucky offense in recent years. They want him more involved here, Jesse.
And that's a really nice job, I think, by Nussmeier, anticipating this throw. Vanderbilt's blitzing him again, and he's got to get rid of this thing before Barian Brown comes out of his break. We talked about how they wanted to get number 6 the ball more often. Good job here, just taking a hitch. The ball's out now, and a good, accurate throw right on the body of his intended target.
3 targets, 3 receptions. So they're delivering on what they said. Quick throw in space again to Brown as he looks for the block from Anderson and gets himself to the 40.
Yeah, good decision by Nussmeier on the RPO that time. They're kind of like a shortstop, right? You catch that shotgun snap, you're not going to hand it off. You got to spit it outside quickly before getting your feet set. It's like a shortstop turning 2 in baseball. I've seen a couple of these screen throws early now to Barian Brown. He's a big part of this game plan early.
Grew up here in Nashville, played at Kentucky, excellent in the return game as well, and already playing a big role on this opening drive. Here's Caden Durham, as Durham looks like he's going to be close to that line to gain. Well, maybe a football short.
They've got to run the ball, and they've got to stay patient with it, Joe. And I know you just pointed out that statistically this is the worst rushing offense in the SEC. But against South Carolina last week, they ran it 30 times, had their best day rushing it, because short gains like what you just saw as the game went on, they started wearing down the Gamecocks, they started breaking some out. So Joe Sloan, the offensive coordinator, he's got to stick with that running game, I think, in this one, especially early.
Here's 3rd and 1. Barry, he will have the first down and more. Good opening drive continues for LSU.
They got a deep stable of backs at LSU. And Caden Durham comes out and replaced him with the true freshman, Harlem Berry, the #1 rated running back coming out of high school in this year's class. You're going to see Juwan Johnson. You're going to see Caleb Jackson. They go 4 deep in this Tiger backfield. All of them will get touches.
9-yard run by Harlem Berry, the 5-star recruiter. Everybody thinks he's going to be a future star, just learning how to play at this level, especially when it comes to pass protection, as he will stay in there after earning the first down. Nussmeier. A lot of time time, and then there was nothing open downfield, so he's taken down by Coote.
Keanu Coote, the transfer from Alabama, is able to get this done. This, to me, really was a coverage sack. There was nowhere from Nussmeier to go with the football, and it's Coote outside. He's just going to kind of fight and then work his way in to finally get the sack. Really good job on the back end by Vandy's defense, taking everything away from Nussmeier, now setting up 2nd and long.
Jawan Johnson comes into the backfield, former quarterback recruit. Had a costly fumble a week ago against South Carolina heading into the end zone. 2nd and 13. The quick game again, and that's off the hands of Thomas and goes incomplete. And now here is the 3rd and long that you described.
Yeah, and the drops have been the issue for LSU this year. That now their 17th drop, 2nd most in the SEC, now sets up 3rd and long. And this is where the pressure packages from defensive coordinator Steve Gregory of Vanderbilt are going to become an issue. See them all loading that line of scrimmage, Joe. Who's coming? Who's bailing?
And a timeout is going to be used by LSU. Look at this scene here in Vandy. Ranked versus ranked at First Bank Stadium, and the Tigers facing a 3rd and 13 when we return.
Welcome back to Nashville. We talked about Garrett Nussmeier and the decision-making, some of the issues against Ole Miss here in a 3-man rush. 8 guys in coverage, trying to throw it deep in over the middle of the field. 3 defenders around him. You've got to come off of that, check it down, or throw it away. It ends up being a pick deep in Ole Miss territory. In their last game against the Gamecocks, 6'7" Green outside at tight end running a slant. He never sees the safety in the middle of the field and throws a pick right into the end zone. It's big in a situation like this here on 3rd and long, not to get greedy if you're Nussmeier. If it's not open, check it down, throw it away, help out your field goal kicker.
11th play of this opening drive, and it's a 3rd and 13 coming off of the timeout. Here's Nuss. Gets it out quickly, and that was thrown behind into the outside of Trey'Dez Green, and it's incomplete.
Wow, and that was a great job closing on it by Jordan Matthews, the Tennessee transfer, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana native on that 3rd down. They were bringing the pressure into the secondary back there. He's expecting the quick throw. You see how he just put his heels in the ground, Joe? And he exploded out of that to go make a break on the ball. I think almost intercepted, really, and now a long field goal try. It's a pretty windy day out there.
It is. There is a breeze here in Nashville. As Damian Ramos will have the 48-yard attempt. Number 2 in all-time field goals made in LSU history. And he puts it through. Well, you got to put in perspective what this kind of a game is here in Nashville. And we all know the long history of Vanderbilt and now the recent success. 7 weeks ranked in the poll. 7 weeks ranked the previous 65 seasons. Think about that. They're going for their first 6-1 start since 1950. These are very different times. And we told you, in 75 years, this is only the 3rd time that we've had ranked against ranked. You and I have done some games through the year, limited games through the year. I did a Jay Cutler game about 20-something years ago, a Jordan Rogers game a decade and change ago. This is different.
I played against Vanderbilt in the late 90s. It didn't look like this.
I mean, you and Spurrier coming to town was a different vibe,
That was a long time ago. You got to give Clarkley so much credit. He's in it for the long game. It's taken time. 2 2-win seasons in his first 3 years, and finally that breakthrough last year beating Bama. He's done a great job in the portal. He's done a great job on his staff. Completely different expectations at Vanderbilt now.
Had an interesting conversation with Coach a day ago about it. Here's Richardson on the return. Trey Richardson finds a seam. Would you look at Trey Richardson weaving his way all the way out near the 43-yard line. It was finally Burrell, the kickoff specialist, who tackled him. And here comes Jesse, the brash, bold, dynamic Diego Pavia.
He's got moxie. He's got whatever that it factor is. He's extremely tough, puts his body on the line, but his swagger elevates everybody else around him. And the story's been told, Joe. He's a guy a little bit undersized, wasn't highly recruited coming out of high school. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. All this guy has done here at Vanderbilt is win. He is an absolute gamer.
When you say a little bit undersized, you air quoting the 6 foot he's listed at?
I was with him, gave him a hug on the field pregame. I'm going to say 5'10", maybe 5'9.5".
Now here he is. As Alexander will get the day started, just a yard there as we look at the impact players after the tackle by McKinley.
You just saw Cedric Alexander at running back. He'll do it that way. He'll do it catching the football, especially in the red zone. Eli Stowers is outstanding at tight end. Really plays like a receiver in his route running. Harold Perkins with his speed sideline to sideline, big in their third down package. And Mansour Delane, the transfer from Virginia Tech, he's the best cornerback I've seen this year on film. He is a shutdown guy taking one side of the field away.
Second and 9, jet motion, play action off of it as they set up the screen. This is Stowers against that LSU defense, Katie, without a star.
Yeah, Tess, LSU's missing Whit Weeks. He has a high bone bruise on his right ankle. He actually injured it in the second half of the Ole Miss game. Finished that game, played through it against South Carolina last week. But it was to the point that he was struggling to push the pedals on a stationary bike. So they had to shut him down. They hope that this rest can get him back healthy.
Without him, Devon Keys goes in. And the good news is he's a pretty good linebacker, too. When Weeks had a targeting foul early in the game against Florida, he stepped in and had 14 tackles. So they've got a lot of depth at linebacker.
Bernard Gooden, defensive tackle, also out for LSU. Here's third down and 4. Pavia. It is caught and complete to Cole Spence, the other tight end, and it's a first down Vandy.
It's a really nice job of Pavia getting through his progression. He's going to have a drag route coming underneath this way here, and then the in route's coming right behind it. So that's the second read in the progression. And how about the stretch from a 6'7" tight end? And he needed all that height and those long arms to reel that in.
Of course, LSU with Trades Green at 6'7", and Cole Spence for Vandy, another tall tight end at 6'7". 19-yard catch for Vandy on third down. Reverse orbit motion as they will pitch off of it to Barnett. That's a whole lot of work to be knocked out of bounds by A.J. Halsey.
Really nice job by A.J. Halsey, the transfer from Houston. He's chasing this receiver all the way down on the option. And this is a very clean tackle. Puts his right shoulder pad right between the 8 and the 1 and sends Barnett for a ride.
There's Halsey, didn't join LSU until this past summer. They didn't know what to expect. They got a good one. Alexander, he is tackled for a loss. Ran into his own man, and then Jacobian Guillory was waiting on him.
Jacobian Guillory absolutely blew the guard Chase Mitchell up and made that play. Now, third down. Vanderbilt statistically converting 58%. That's second best in the country. And a big reason why, I think, is the legs of Diego Pavia. In these situations, if no one's open downfield, he can take off and run. And LSU defensively, they've got to have a plan for that.
And we ran the ball against Alabama 12 times for 68 yards. Let's see if they spy him here on 3rd and 8. Pavia gets a 4-man rush as he is able to connect with Stowers, his outstanding tight end, who's 6th nationally among tight ends in receiving yards.
Well, the first piece of this is an outstanding job by the offensive line, giving Pavia a really clean pocket to throw from here. Again, he's probably only 5'10". It's not always easy to see. This makes it a lot easier. Then you've got Stowers outside. Really nice route, breaking to the outside, and a great job throwing you his catch radius. That's 2 catches on this drive, Joe, with tight ends having to use everything they've got, all of their length, to reel it in. Really good work.
Stowers 6'4", great catch radius, 14-yard reception. First down is earned. As Alexander struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Of course, last game, one of the big stories when it came to Vandy was what happened in the red zone, Jesse.
Yeah, Pavia had 2 turnovers, and it absolutely killed Vanderbilt in that game. One was a fumble, one was an interception in the 4th quarter. He's also thrown a bad interception early this year against South Carolina in the end zone, too. So, for the most part this season, Diego Pavia has been lights out. The decision-making, though, and the turnovers in this area of the field has got to get better for number 2.
And it's going to be a timeout used by Clark Lee and the Commodores. They're on the march on their first drive of the game. Diego Pavia, 3 for 3 to start the day. We'll take a short break and be right back to Nashville.
College football is presented by the Starbucks Coffee Company.
So just the 3rd ranked matchup at home for Vandy in the last 75 years. They had to win against number 13 Auburn in 2008. You know what happened against Texas last year. Listen, they beat number 1 Alabama last year. Diego Pavia brings that swag. We spent time with Clark Lee, the head coach, yesterday. He said, we have a far better team right now than we had a year ago. And here they are at 5-1, number 17 in the country. Opening drive for Vandy. Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, Katie George with you here in Music City. 2nd and 10. Oh, they saw some flinching opposite the right tackle.
It was Patrick Payton that flinched for LSU.
55 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
And Bryce Henderson at tackle decided to come out of his stance. He thought he had a for sure offsides call, and I think that's one, looking back on it, he should have just waited and stayed in his stance. Patrick Payton's tapping himself on the jersey right now saying, that's my bad. I got to lock in here, but that's sort of a self-inflicted wound that time by Bryce Henderson.
Played 4 years at South Dakota, then a grad transfer to Vandy, so he comes here with a lot of experience. And a penalty makes it 2nd and 15. Pavia. This is what he can do, and he's got a lot of green space to do it. As Pavia gets it all the way down to the 1-yard line, and now they're saying touchdown. Diego Pavia, touchdown run on what was 2nd and 15.
Well, 210-pounder, he never slides. He puts his body on the line.
It's under further review. The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
Looking at that angle there, Joe, I think he's a bit short of the end zone. I know it was called a touchdown on the field, but it looked as though he got tackled and his knee goes down there, and the ball is definitely short.
I mean, you could hear
of the end zone.
You could hear by my voice as to what I thought from all the way up here. But one of the officials on the far side put his hands up for a touchdown, but this is going to be reviewed, and I think it's pretty clear it's going to be 1st and goal.
And we were talking earlier about this, Joe, on these 3rd down plays, in these types of situations, at least in obvious pass situations, you've got to be ready for Pavia to take off. And that time, LSU, they got out of their gaps. They were running a little bit of a game and twist up front. Nobody in the middle of the field. And Diego Pavia, when he feels that, there is no hesitation. He is going to take off. You can see the kind of runner that he is. The twist is coming inside here. You're going to have 2 players just in this little tunnel, and right there, I mean, you could drive a truck through that.
After video review, the runner was down prior to the ball crossing the goal line. The ball will be spotted inside the 1-yard line. It will be 1st and goal, Vanderbilt.
And Jesse, the first thing LSU head coach Brian Kelly said when he was sizing up this game this week is you have to stop Diego Pavia from running the ball. A 20-yard run on 2nd and 15.
So now on goal line, they've got an extra O-lineman. We've got 6 O-linemen and 2 very big tight ends in Emmanuel Adebi and Gabe Fisher. This is going to be a big jumbo look by Vanderbilt.
Cedric Alexander behind all of that beef. And the flag reigns in as he is tackled at the line of scrimmage by Mathis.
Offside on the defense, number 90. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay, first down.
That's Jacoby and Guillory, who had a big stop earlier in the drive. That time just lined up in the neutral zone offside. So it stays first down here for Vanderbilt. They're leaving all those big bodies out there on the field.
Gabe Fisher is the fullback, squatting down in front of Cedric Alexander. First and goal. Pavia trying to do it on his own. They got to undo it, and they say yes. Touchdown, Pavia. So 20 yards on the big second down run and 1 glory yard for the score.
It's such an impressive first drive of the game here for Vanderbilt. We got to listen in on Clark Lee talking to his team pregame, right? What'd he say? Jump him off the bus.
Jump him off the bus. He said game action and then response.
They go down the field, running it. Some big catches by tight ends, Spence and Stowers. They found some explosive plays. It's about as good as a start as you could have offensively for Clark Lee and Vanderbilt.
A 9-play opening drive to take the lead here on LSU. And the last team to score an opening drive.
Brian Kelly said Diego Pavia's ability to raise the level of play around him sets him apart. He said you can see it, you can feel it. He said he's a terrific player, but Pavia's biggest asset is he makes the group around him believe they're the best damn players in America, and that's dangerous, guys.
He's just got that swag to him. What a day in the SEC as it starts off with Vandy and LSU. And then coming up next, it'll be the SEC on ABC as undefeated Ole Miss, number 5 in the country, facing top 10 Georgia. And Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One. Tennessee taking on Alabama. Jesse, I think it's interesting to listen to Lane Kiffin, the Ole Miss head coach this week, and talk about what it is to play at Georgia and how for his program, now he's the undefeated program, saying that's a very big step for us. They're elite. Then you play them there. That would be a very big one in defining who we are.
Yeah, and a big test for Trinidad Chambliss, too, in that environment against a defense with lots of athleticism. That'll be fun to watch.
Nussmeier, he gets it to Johnson. Jawan Johnson able to split defenders and a stiff arm as the flag is down back at the 33-yard line.
There might be a hold on Trey'Dez Green, tight end out on the perimeter.
Number 10 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
Well, they had 2 tight ends out in front that time, Bauer Sharp and Trey'Dez Green. And Bauer Sharp, number 10, he's the one that's going to get called for it. I thought number 14 there had a bit of a tug on the jersey as well himself. Good play design, just need better execution. They've been trying to throw these quick screens as an extension of the run game, right? We know that LSU has struggled to run the football consistently this year. That's a big penalty, though, wiping out an explosive play.
Yeah, Sharp getting a whole lot of jersey of Martell Pike. Berry goes ahead for maybe 2 yards, tackled by Seabrook.
It's a hard front 7 to run into. Vanderbilt's only giving up 90 rushing yards per game. They're very big. They average about 287 pounds across the board. And these guys are space eaters. They eat up blocks. And they rotate in 4 big linebackers throughout the course of the game as well. So getting it established on the ground against this defense, easier said than done.
See, Langston Patterson, the linebacker, has been dealing with an elbow injury, giving it a go today. 2nd and 12. Nussmeier back to pass. 4-man rush for Vandy. Goes underneath to Durham, and Durham is gobbled up right away.
Now you've got another 3rd down situation. We've seen the pressure packages. Big substitution for Vanderbilt, and Nick Rinaldi, number 24 at linebacker. He was one of our impact players. He's a key piece of this. He's very athletic at 6'3", 240 pounds, and they like to line him up in the A-gap and see if he can use his speed to beat a center or a guard.
Rinaldi has 5 tackles for loss, has 2 sacks on the year. This is a perfect spot for him to let loose. 3rd down and 10. And here he comes, but they pick him up. Nussmeier downfield and gets it complete for a 1st down to Barian Brown.
Really nice job by Nussmeier stepping up there. He felt the pressure coming off the right side by Miles Capers. It's coming here, and he just stays poised. He just works himself up, does a nice job getting his feet back underneath him. I got to say, Joe, I know the coaches talked about they think he's beyond the oblique injury early in this game. He looks like he's throwing it with a lot more velocity.
Now, here's the concern for LSU, because obviously we already brought up the fact that last year Will Campbell, 4th overall draft pick, the other tackle Emory Jones off to the NFL. Tyree Adams is down right now. Tyree Adams, who is a starting tackle, and they feel like he's going to be really good down the road. But right now the medical team is out to see him.
Well, I think the issue is there already is a lot of youth up front for LSU on the offensive line. You've got Cohen Eccles, a redshirt freshman, already starting this game at left guard. You're starting right tackles, a redshirt freshman. If Tyree Adams can't come back in the game, his backup is Ori Williams, a redshirt freshman. So
keep in mind, Garrett Nussmeier, he tweaked his ankle a week ago, played through it. They taped him up, had a full week of practice, but he was down on the ground a lot against South Carolina, Jesse.
South Carolina's got one of the more dynamic pass rushes, I think, in the SEC. And Dylan Stewart and Brian Thomas Jr. And Nussmeier was under the gun all game long, under a lot of pressure. And Vanderbilt doesn't have the raw pass rushing ability up front that South Carolina does, but you've seen the blitzes, and they can be creative, and they simulate pressure in some other ways.
DJ Chester is now playing left tackle. Barry on 1st down. He finds a seam and goes ahead for 8.5 yards, tackled by Sewell.
Well, it's nice to have the versatility of DJ Chester now in the lineup. Remember, last year he was their starting center, and then Braylon Moore comes in from Virginia Tech. He wins the starting center job, but they've gotten some valuable reps this year out of DJ Chester playing left tackle, and now in a huge game, in a position of need, he's trying to step up.
2nd and 1. Nussmeier's going to take a shot downfield, and it is batted away at the last possible second by Taylor. Barian Brown was trying to fight for the contested ball, and a flag is down.
Come on. That is such a good job by Colby Taylor at 6'3" in the back end, locating the ball and swatting it away.
Pass interference on the defense. Number 3, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
A DPI. And it's a 1st down for LSU.
And it looks like it was his right arm that got locked up a little bit with the right arm from LSU. I got to be honest, Joe, I don't see a whole lot there at all.
Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt, what do you think of that defensive pass interference?
Yeah, Joe, I think it was pretty obvious that it was pass interference. The receiver's inside arm was being pinned down by the defender. That's a good call from the back judge. He's the only one that's going to be able to see that, so that's a good call.
So it's a first.
That's why quarterbacks always love you.
Yeah. And Barry just dives ahead for a yard that time. So the ball was placed on the 35-yard line here. Final minute of this 1st quarter. Number 10 LSU, number 17 Vanderbilt. Mark Lee in his 5th season. Guy who's had such belief said, you know, there was victimization and apathy and a plaque that grows on an institution when you lose for so many years. And here he is toe-to-toe with the best in the SEC now the past couple of years. Barry on 2nd and 9, a very strong run in the closing moments here of this 1st quarter. LSU is on the march, but Vandy with a 7-3 lead. The SEC on ABC, presented by Starbucks, returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
We're on the sidelines with Brian Kelly. Brian, early sample size, only a few possessions. How would you describe your team's start?
Yeah, I want to establish the run. I think we're doing a pretty good job there. Defensively, we need to get off the field. Obviously, they made a couple of big completions in 3rd down. Just got to do a better job in coverage. got pulled out of our zone. So do a little bit better there. And, Pavio's a tough guy to contain. And quarterback job, we've got to do a better job.
Thank you.
PK's LSU offense to open up this second quarter. Nussmeier being chased back, but he's able to connect with Green. And into the end zone goes Trey Green. The entire Vandy defense got sucked up, and Trey Green went right past them.
Well, they used Xavier Thomas, who they brought in from receiver to running back in the backfield, just running kind of a swing route here. And you're going to see a lot of defenders go this way. Nobody keeps an eye on Green. Kind of a delayed drag route. And Nussmeier just held the ball until the last possible second before getting it to his 6'7" tight end, who's been such a weapon for LSU in the red zone and in the fringe area, like what you saw right there.
A 24-yard touchdown for Trey Green. There's been so much criticism of the LSU offense, but you had the sense just being with them this week that they felt Nussmeier is ready to really turn things around and have a very different second half of the season.
Yeah, and he's looking a lot better early in this game. Obviously, It's very, very early still, but there just seems to be a different confidence, especially in the pocket. I think he's throwing the football with more conviction as well. Seems like there's a little bit more velocity. He's driving the football a little bit better. I think the bigger key, though, not just Nussmeier, if they can keep the run game going. You saw Brian Kelly just talk to Katie earlier about trying to get that established and trying to stay patient with it. Kelly talking to his quarterback right there. It's important for them to have balance. That's the key to their success.
They'd run for a season high 166 yards against South Carolina last week. Harlem Berry, the true freshman from New Orleans, has had a few good runs early on here in this game. But moments ago, the dangerous 6'7" weapon with speed and athleticism, Trey Green, just went for the 24-yard touchdown, and LSU's got a 10-7 lead.
One of the interesting schematic things about Vanderbilt's offense is that they flip-flop their offensive line. They have a strong side and a quick side. The strong side always lines up to the side of the tight end, but when the tight end travels, the strong guard and the strong tackle travel with them, and the quick guard and the quick tackle go to the other side. So linemen playing both to the left and the right, and you don't see it very much in college football. It's very, very unique. It's something that Tim Beck brought with him through all his years at Pittsburgh State in Division II. And it's really working out for them. I think there are a lot of advantages, actually, to this scheme for Alabama offensively.
Alexander with a good block, and he kept his balance to dive ahead. Let's get back into that conversation about Vanderbilt and what they do on the offensive line.
Well, I think one of the biggest advantages is that offensive linemen only have one assignment on every given play, regardless of whether you're lining up to the right or you're lining up to the left. I think one of the biggest disadvantages, though, is that you're constantly having to change your stance, and maybe you have different footwork, but this is very unique. The strong side guard and tackle generally are your better run blockers. Your quick side guard and tackle, generally your more athletic linemen, better pass protectors.
12-yard run behind that line from Alexander. First down, Vandy. Play action. Diego Pavia trying to find an option. And then he'll just burn it on the outside as it was Devon Keys chasing him. But then they go to the inside with Young, and MK Young takes it out to the 41-yard line, tackled by Keys.
Well, it's an offense that uses a lot of jet motion. It's not just a distraction, but they're trying to create gaps laterally in the defense that they can run to and that they can throw into as well. And They've done a really good job of that. 10 back. He doesn't just have the offensive line flip-flopping thing, but the use of motion pre-snap makes it very difficult on defenses as well.
Vandy leads the nation in offensive efficiency under the direction of the play caller, Tim Beck. Third down and 6. Pavia, pressure off the edge, but he gets to the outside of Harold Perkins, who tries to chase him, and Pavia strides out for a first down. Man, is he quick.
Wow, and he didn't beat the blitz that time with a hot route or a throw. He had 2 free rushers coming at him. He had Woodland coming out here. He's got Perkins coming right here, and Pavia just shows his quicks. He's able to break the contain, and there was no hesitation. Actually outruns Perkins, one of the faster linebackers in all of college football. Pavia showing off that athleticism.
Jesse, we have done so many LSU games during Harold Perkins' career. Everybody in the conference will say he has elite speed. He can chase down any player in the SEC. Pavia just went for 7 yards on a first down. As this is Alexander, who tries to muscle the nose of the football towards midfield.
I think one of the hard things, too, when you're trying to defend Vanderbilt is in the run game, there's such a volume of plays. There's zone plays. They pull guards. You got power counter. You got triple option with wide receivers, quarterback runs, jet sweeps. You're seeing all of it early in this game. And I think for LSU and Brian Kelly, it's so much to get your defense ready for. And that's just the run game when you take on Tim Beck, Diego Pavia, and this offense.
Second and 8 from midfield. Pavia sidearms it to Stowers. And his excellent tight end will move the chains again.
It's a nice play design because they're faking a bubble screen to Junior Sherrill, just trying to influence the eyes. They got Sherrill over here doing this. Everybody goes there, but nobody focuses on Stowers. Just a nice job here. You think it's getting spit outside wide. There's a big zone and a big hole for the tight end to sit down into.
Stowers, who played with Pavia at New Mexico State, followed him here to Cashville. And they are cashing in with this team. 5-1. Number 17 in the country. Pavia. He's going to run it again as he gets to the 31-yard line.
I think Harold Perkins is going to start slowing down a little bit off the edge, because that's twice on this drive now. He is screaming right here, coming in, trying to get that handoff, and Pavia just holds on to it and breaks the contain. You've got to cage Diego Pavia, and to do that, you've got to rush under control. You're right about Perkins, Joe. He is so fast, but you can't be out of control against this specific quarterback.
Yeah, you're descriptive there, Jesse, of caging Pavia. That is critical now, and you're seeing how costly it is if LSU doesn't do it on this drive. 8th play of this drive for Vandy. Alexander probing against that defensive line as it appears he will have a first down, tackled by Bro.
And that time they're running behind the strong side of the offensive line. We talked about strong versus quick. The strong side are your better run blockers. And their strong side guard, number 50, Chase Mitchell, is 340 pounds. So when you need runs like that in short yardage, that's the side you generally want to run behind.
13-game starter a year ago. He started this year. Didn't give up a sack last year, Mitchell. Alexander nearly tackled for a loss before he goes ahead for 2 yards. Tackled by Patrick Payton.
It was Ahmad Bro who did such a great job. Great jump off the ball. And he didn't make the tackle, but he completely blew that up in the backfield. We talked about Bernard Gooden not playing. And to me, they had a lot of big-time players come in the portal. None bigger to me, though, than Bernard Gooden, the USF transfer. He's probably been their most disruptive player inside, not just against the run, but in pass rush as well. So his backups now, Ahmad Bro, doing a really nice job there.
Yeah, Bro was recruited as a linebacker, but they bulked him up, gained 40 pounds a year ago, and Gooden is a dynamic defensive tackle they don't have today. 2nd down and 8. Pavia, as he goes with the shallow cross to Spence again inside the 10, looking to high hurdle his way to a first seconds.
Great job by Spence that time, waiting until the very last possible second. He's out here blocking against Jack Clyburn, and then he clears it, and he literally does almost hurdle Harold Perkins here. He's 6'7". By the way, Joe, this has been a tight end fest early in this game. Vanderbilt's tight end, Spence and Stowers. Treydas Green, we've already seen with a touchdown catch as well. Really highlighting that position. Both of these teams have got great athletes.
Cole Spence with a 21-yard reception. First and goal, Vandy. Newberry going to test right tackle side, but he cannot stiff arm his way past Cooley.
Man, that is such a good open field tackle by Cooley, the NC State transfer. I've been really impressed watching him cover people, but in the last 2 games, he's missed a tackle that resulted in a touchdown. So it's really good to see that if you're LSU on defense. The redshirt sophomore making a nice stop in the open field.
All the transfers who have helped out LSU and upgrade, especially the defensive backfield. Tamarcus Cooley came over from NC State. He's been a big surprise. 12th play of this drive for Vandy coming right here. Second and goal. Speed option. Oh, he doesn't pitch. Instead, he tried to go for the goal line and came up just short, did Pavia.
Oh, A.J. Halsey, number 13, the transfer from Houston. He came flying from the other side of the hash mark to make that play. Pavia keeps it, and Halsey's there to clean it up at the very end. Now setting up 3rd and goal, and another big set here by Vanderbilt. And because of a substitution by Vanderbilt, it gives LSU an opportunity. The referees are holding the play to allow Patrick Payton back on the field.
A.J. Newberry is the single back here on 3rd and goal. Pavia going to try to do it on his own. And it looks like he was stacked up, and he is marked short.
Wow. Jacobian Guillory, number 90, and Westweek, number 33. They went high. Everybody else went low, and they were able to stuff them. And now another substitution, an extra offensive lineman for Vanderbilt here on 4th down.
All the big bodies are coming in. Clark Lee, 4th and goal, didn't even hesitate. Extra offensive tackle, 2 fullbacks, and Cedric Alexander. They are 5 of 6 on 4th down this season, 83%. Here's a 4th and goal home against LSU. Alexander straight ahead is in. 4th down, touchdown, Cedric Alexander.
The center, Jordan White, locked up with Walter Mathis right in the middle, number 53. He's able to clear up that space for Cedric Alexander. Great effort. Now his 9th total touchdown on the season. That leads the SEC. Offensive coordinator Tim Beck. High fives all around to the offensive staff.
Wow, a 14-play drive that Jesse nearly went 9 minutes. It was 8:58. The ability to run the ball. And the risk reward of 4th and goal from the 1. By the way, the officials are now reviewing the Cedric Alexander touchdown run to see if he did cross the goal line.
Well, to me, it looks initially live like he got it. He did get it in the first try.
Under video review, ruling on the field was a touchdown.
But on the second try, I thought he absolutely did. And just watching that replay angle there, I don't think this is going to take very long. See the initial stop right here by Weeks. Just launches himself up to the goal line. An incredible job being able to keep his balance and his feet on the ground there. He was almost parallel to the ground. He gets pushed back and somehow is able to just spin around the other direction, have the awareness of where that goal line is. On 4th down, you got to stretch it out. Great individual effort by Cedric Alexander.
It's on the board right now as a 1-yard rushing touchdown.
After video review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
And his 10 total touchdowns for Cedric Alexander. That leads the SEC. He came into this game ranked 5th in the nation in total touchdowns.
How about for this Vanderbilt offense, Joe? Up and down the field. They've been running it. They've been throwing it. They've had great balance and a really nice rhythm offensively early against what has been one of the best defenses in the entire country.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns as Brock Taylor connects on the extra point. Barkley said, what a beautiful day here in Nashville as you're watching the SEC on ABC. As Vanderbilt is trying to go to 6-1 for the first time since 1950 as the SEC on ABC is presented by Starbucks. And this was kicked out of bounds. A 4th and goal touchdown run moments ago as Vandy has themselves a 14-10 lead here in a really good one from Nashville, Tennessee. Well, neither defense has been able to stop the other offense yet. Jesse, we've had 3 lead changes here. Vandy 14-10.
Yeah, Vandy's been up and down the field. This is a huge run by Diego Pavia on that first drive. Set him up at the goal line before a quarterback sneak. Took him in for a touchdown. Great play by Nussmeier here, hitting Trey'Dez Green the last time LSU came out, and then Vandy just went right back down the field. A big gamble by Clark Lee there on 4th down. Cedric Alexander, great job. Spinning and turning his way into the end zone. You're right, Joe. It's like right now it's been defense optional these last 3 drives.
Pavia's got 72 yards passing, 36 rushing. Garrett Nussmeier, the LSU star quarterback, 9 of 11 for 82 yards and that touchdown to Trey'Dez Green. Barry motions back into the backfield on 1st down. And he will take the carry. He's been getting more work here in this first half than we've seen recently. Katie?
As LSU starting left tackle Tyree Adams is questionable to return. He's dealing with an ankle injury. He's currently in LSU's locker room getting assessed. Now DJ Chester has experience stepping in for him. Chester played a couple of series for Adams when he went down against Clemson week 1, so it's not like he's untested, guys.
So that's the changeup on the offensive line. 2nd and 1. They get it quickly into space. Good defensive play against Nick Anderson by C.J. Hurd.
I talked about him being a heat-seeking missile. He's only a true sophomore. He's so smart. The FAU transfer, he just diagnoses things, and it's called triggering. When you know where the ball's going, you just go. He's got tremendous speed. He's able to blow that play up, and now a short yardage situation for an offensive line without their starting left tackle, as Katie was just mentioned.
3rd down and 1.
The ball will be respotted to the original spot. Center, move the ball forward. We're moving it back. 3rd down.
A little veteran move by Moore there, just trying to get a few extra inches.
Yeah, you go to reposition, get ready for your snap, and all of a sudden 3rd and 1 is 3rd and a few inches.
No, I was just trying to find the laces. I was just making sure I had the laces on the snap.
Nussmeier on 3rd and 1 is going to pass. And a flag is down as Green will stride ahead. He is so dangerous, the 6'7", big frame Trey'Dez Green.
Well, Nussmeier,
flag.
He had a free play because I think Vanderbilt jumped off sides, and so you have 2 guys going deep.
Offside on the defense. Defender was moving forward at the snap towards the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. Result of play, 1st down.
That's wild. I mean, they literally are just running 2 guys deep, and everybody forgot about Trey'Dez Green out in the flat here. There's a little bit of a flinch right there from Vanderbilt. Good job by Braylon Moore, who is the culprit, moving the football before the snap. And he snaps it, gets it off to Nussmeier, so they get that free play.
19 yards on the reception by Green. He got pressure. Nussmeier kept his footing, goes shallow underneath, and Green gets free of the initial would-be tackle.
I mean, who's tackling a guy 6'7", 240 pounds out there by himself? Dante Harder's trying to get it done. Here he is on a drag route. It's the same kind of idea what he scored on the last possession. And he's just trying to hold on to a leg. He's just so long and athletic and strong. Able to get out of bounds.
2nd and 4. Quick strike again to Green. Flat came down immediately, but they understand the matchup that they have with Green.
I think Vanderbilt right now has got to be a little bit more disciplined at the line of scrimmage. I think guys, it looked to me that time maybe have been lining up on the side.
Illegal formation on the offense. Number 79 was in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Yeah, there. I thought Keanu Coop was lined up off sides, but it is true. It's not Tyree Adams. It's DJ Chester now. It's the backup left tackle. He was lined up way off the ball. And Vanderbilt bringing that pressure right up the A-gaps. It's forcing the football out of Garrett Nussmeier's hands very quickly.
Remember, Tyree Adams, the starting left tackle, out injured. DJ Chester, versatile piece of that offensive line, kicked out to left tackle now to take that spot. So 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 9. As Barry lost his footing as he was trying to cut to the outside.
Here's an interesting question on 3rd and long now. If you're Joe Sloan, the offensive coordinator, which tackle are you helping? Is it the new left tackle, DJ Chester, to give him some chip help? Or is it Weston Davis, the right tackle, who's a redshirt freshman, number 75, who's allowed 13 QB pressures this year, most in the SEC. Can't double both guys. You have to make a decision here if you're LSU.
3rd down and 8 now. Nussmeier looking left. Pocket started to collapse, and it affected the throw as he was trying to get it to Nick Anderson, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, they didn't double either of them, and on the left side, it was Miles Capers who wins this way. He gets pressure, and then there's an inside pressure piece here as well, and a stun inside, and the edge is just collapsing on Nussmeier. Very lucky that flutter ball did not get picked on the sideline.
So in comes Damian Ramos. Excellent career at LSU for Ramos. This will be from 52. Made from 52, week 1 against Clemson. Good lift, but it drifts off to the right. So that stop on 3rd down comes up big for Clark Lee and the Vandy defense. The pressure they were able to put on Garrett Nussmeier. And this helps Vandy maintain a 14-10 lead here in Nashville. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund supporting all student athletes. We thank Allstate for that. What a great day. Sun-kissed here at First Bank Stadium in Nashville. Just had our first defensive stop today from either team. And now Diego Pavia back on offense for the Doors. A 4-point lead for number 17, Vanderbilt. That is incomplete off the hands of Barnett. Ball did go forward there.
LSU needs a stop here too, Joe, because 2:30 left in the game. Vanderbilt's going to get the football first in the second half. This is a big moment for Diego Pavia. And you see what this offense was able to do: a 9-play drive, a 14-play drive, running and throwing. They have an opportunity. Coaches always talk about last 4 minutes, first 4 minutes, so the first half and the second half, and it's a big opportunity. If Clark Lee's squad can go and steal more points here, get it back and score points first in the second half, they could blow this thing open.
Get that double-up swing, and you already have a lead, no doubt about it. They keep it on the ground, and tackled for a loss was Alexander as West Weeks makes the tackle. He's their leading tackler. His younger brother, Whit Weeks, who's really the heart and soul of the defense, is out injured.
Here's Weeks right here making the tackle. Really nice job identifying and getting through the wash. And now 3rd and long. And LSU's defense is a bit of a blitz-a-thon. With their D coordinator, Blake Baker, they like to pressure. They do it 39% of the time, more than any other team in the SEC. And this is definitely a situation, as we go to the 2-minute warning, that you can expect pressure from the Tigers.
So the 2-minute timeout for Vandy on offense, as they will be facing a 3rd and 12 when we return to Music City. Jesse, Vandy and Pavia facing a 3rd and 12.
Yeah, and they're coming off a bye week. It was a good time to have it for them to really work on pass protection against all the different pressures that LSU throws at you for these running backs in this game right now. To make sure you're scanning. Cedric Alexander is back there. He's got to be on the same page with his quarterback and lineman.
You see the wider split on the left side here. 3rd down and 12. Let's see what they come up with off the 2-minute timeout as they motion Hoskins in. Here's Pavia trying to buy extra time. And he's going to go to Alexander out of the backfield, who dives for the line to gain. But he's going to be marked a yard short as Mansour Delane was able to get to him.
So interesting. This time, Devon Keys and Harold Perkins are both spying Pavia. They're worried about him running the football, but nobody's got the running back. Watch how 42 and 7 are both watching the QB. He's going right, we're going that way. And
this
nobody
is
covered the running.
4th and 1. 4th down and 1. Pavia. He is sacked. That was from their own 44 as West Weeks tears him down. And that sack, only the 5th given up by Vanderbilt this season, and it comes on a 4th and 1.
We talked about how LSU needed a stop. You see his brother Weeks there hyping him up. 33, he gets cut and gets lined up. It's a great job in the back end and coverage. There's nowhere for Pavia to go with the football. Great instincts, great closing speed by West Weeks, getting a massive sack, now giving the football back to Nussmeier in this offense, Joe, on the 36-yard line.
Jesse, we just had the conversation about the potential for the double up of Vanderbilt. Instead, they play ultra risk, get no reward, and now it's LSU in prime position at the 36 with 1:43 to go in the half. Here's Caden Durham as he goes ahead for 2 yards.
Here's the thing. They've got 2 timeouts if you're LSU, so you've got tons of time now to work this 2-minute type situation to try and score points and not give the ball back to Diego Pavia before the end of half.
So Weeks makes the big play on 4th down. 2 timeouts remaining, 2nd down and 8. Nussmeier, they pick up the pressure, gets rid of it, and gets it complete for a 1st down to Thomas.
Great anticipation throw again by Nussmeier. He took a massive shot from the linebacker, Brian Longwell there. He had to get rid of this thing early. It's coming right in his kitchen. He just gets this thing way out to the left there. It's a nice throw with an arc. Really lobbed it outside, but gave Xavier Thomas enough time to locate the ball and make the catch.
11-yard reception, and now Durham. He is tackled for a loss right away by Joshua Singh.
This is a time Vanderbilt's defense, they want to step up as Vanderbilt, someone's calling a timeout.
Yeah, Brian Kelly is going to utilize a timeout. 50 seconds remain. That gives us the opportunity to go to Kevin Nagandi and Booger in the studio.
That's Capital One halftime report. Just minutes away. We'll get you ready for that big matchup between Georgia and Ole Miss with a live report. What happened to Miami? Booger's going to share his thoughts on the number 2 team in the country right now at the Big House. It is Michigan taking on Washington. And when you look at what Michigan, they're coming off their 2nd loss of the season, a loss to USC. What do you see right now from Bryce Underwood?
Bryce Underwood's playing well. 13 for 17. He's throwing the football accurately, and Michigan is making big plays.
Former LSU commit right now has the Wolverines up 7-0. Back to you, Tess.
Thank you, Kevin. There was some talk on the field that some of them pointing over and saying Vanderbilt may have actually called timeout before Brian Kelly did. See Clark Lee asking for clarity, and indeed it was Vanderbilt. Look at this formation here as they come off the timeout. And Nussmeier, but they go with the inside screen, and it's incomplete as they tried to get it to Thomas, and it was Stone who was sitting there defensively.
Well, it's a great job by the defense and not falling for the bait. Jalen Stone, number 92, he's just kind of watch the quarterback, read his body language, and he's actually able to get a hand on that. And Nussmeier, very lucky that one wasn't picked off by the big fella.
Boy, it is not often you see a 306-pounder having that level of awareness and dropping into shallow coverage like that. And it makes for a 3rd and 12. Nussmeier Incomplete as they set pressure again. Trey'Dez Green was the closest intended receiver. And with that, the field goal unit will trot out for LSU.
Talk about this third down package. They've got 7 guys lined up here across the board. LSU only has 6, and if they're all coming like they are, someone's going to be free. That time it was Rinaldi, and that's all Nussmeier could do just to get that thing out of his hands.
See Brian Kelly talking things over with his quarterback. Of course, there have been great concerns with the offensive production this year for LSU. And now the 42-yard attempt by Damian Ramos. And with that, and the stop on 4th down, the turnover on downs creates the opportunity for LSU to close to 1. But Brian Kelly has had a lot of frustration with the offense so far this year.
Every player on offense has got to play better. Look, Garrett Nussmeier's got to play better.
What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 to keep you happy? Give him some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. There's a ridiculous question.
Listen, here's the deal. Nussmeier today seemingly playing somewhat better. 13 of 18, 118. The touchdown just couldn't come up against the pressure last time on that 3rd and long. Keep in mind the left tackle, Tyree Adams, is out, was injured earlier in this first half.
There's also an expectation for LSU fans, especially in Brian Kelly's first 3 years, with the Jaden Daniels offenses and even last year's offense. This has been playoff caliber offense. Defense has normally been the problem. The first half of this year, the script has been flipped, and they need this offense to really come awake. I think they're doing better in this game.
Here's Trey Richardson on the return. Good coverage as he's met at the 21-yard line. Busy day in college football as the rankings are brought to you by Capital One.
Well, Louisville took care of that, as we saw earlier. We got this matchup coming up a little bit later in Alabama, Tennessee. Obviously, LSU right here at Vanderbilt. This picture is going to change so much before the end of today as we just begin now the second half of the season. Every week, we're seeing upsets.
Remember, right here on ABC at 3:30, it will be 6-0 Ole Miss against Georgia. Number 5 against number 9. 39 seconds in that one timeout for Diego Pavia as he's going to launch it downfield, and he gets it complete to Sherrill.
Great
Junior Sherrill with the reception.
Yeah, and I like the idea of Vanderbilt staying aggressive here because they've got a kicker in Brock Taylor who hit a 57-yarder against Missouri last year. So if you can just get to the 40-yard line of LSU, you're in range.
Taylor's made 16 consecutive field goals. Will he get an opportunity? Man, oh man, is Delane talented on closing.
You have got to be careful. A wide field throw, balls in the air a long time. And I talked about this. He's the best corner I've seen on film. This very easily could have been a pick 6 the other way. A lot of teams are figuring out you just got to avoid him. He has unbelievable closing skills and coverage skills. And in this type of situation, that's a risk you just don't want to take, I think, if you're Pavia.
And Sor Delane, this week ESPN.com, the latest NFL mock draft, says he's going 13th overall. Second down and 10, half a minute to play to halftime. Pavia gets it complete to Hoskins.
Really nice catch by Hoskins there. That throw a little bit behind him. Hoskins really has been a possession guy for them, sitting down in the zone. And there you go, Joe. Already, they're in field goal range of Brock Taylor.
Remember, one timeout to deal with. Pavia throws it to the outside, and 17 seconds remain.
Go back and look at this catch again here. Just trying to get over the middle of the field, thrown behind. And we've seen both tight ends make great catches early in this game in the first quarter. And that time, Hoskins, great job getting 2 hands on it, keeping it off the dirt and securing it.
Grad student from Lake Forest, Illinois, is one of the real good guys on this team. He's up for the Werfel Trophy and the Good Works team. 17 seconds remaining in what has been a wildly entertaining first half.
You can attack the middle of the field here if you're Pavia with under 2 minutes to go. The game clock will stop if you get a first down.
Pavia. Remember, he does have the timeout, so he can run it And he strides out of bounds, so that'll stop the clock with 11 seconds to go.
Well, it's such a good decision in being aware of the situation, too, by Pavi there. If you see open field, he's just going. And he's not going to sit back there and scramble around and waste precious seconds. Just making quick decisions, not just in the passing game, but when he runs the football as well.
There's Brock Taylor. We told you the streak. 16 consecutive field goals. He's had 6 field goals over 50 yards. They're already down to the 28-yard line. Pavia on 3rd and 1. Precious last few seconds of this first half. Incomplete, looking for Stowers.
Good work by LSU on the back end. It's been a really nice series. Obviously, on the last drive, getting the sack on 4th down, allowing them to get some points here. And after giving up that long completion to Junior Sherrill in the first play of this one, they were able to kind of collect themselves a little bit, now set up a long field goal attempt.
A 46-yard attempt for Taylor. Great lift and rotation, and right on through, and well managed in the final seconds by Clark Lee's offense and Diego Pavia.
That's why I just love the aggressive nature and the play calling by Tim Beck and Clark Lee there for Diego Pavia, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that say, okay, we got sacked on that last drive on 4th down. We gave LSU 3 points. We're getting it first in the second half. Let's just play conservative. We've got under a minute to go. And give them credit. They took a shot right out of the gate. A beautiful throw from Pavia to Sherrill, and it ends up being 3 points. That matters. In close games like this just feels like this one's going to go down to the wire.
There's been nothing conservative with Vandy today. They've had long drives. They had a touchdown on 4th and goal. They went for it from their own side of the field on a turnover on downs that got LSU in position for 3. And then rallying right before the half here for a 4-point lead off the Taylor field goal. What a great scene here, Jesse.
Yeah, no question.
In Nashville.
It's amazing, too. So many LSU fans here as well, right?
Hey, it's one of the great getaway cities, man.
For every SEC team, Vanderbilt's going to have to deal with this. When you're playing on the road in Nashville, of course you want to go to Nashville. You want to take all this thing. It is a sea of purple and gold here at the stadium, and we're in for a good one. It's been a good battle here through 30 minutes of football. Can't wait to see what happens here in the second half.
They're going to squib this just to play keep away from Berrien Brown. And LSU, we're going to extend it right to double zeros.
If he knew Berrien Brown was out to his right and pitched it, that thing would have scored.
Be rugby style, and it may have worked.
Berrien Brown is the SEC record holder in kick return touchdowns with 5. Pitch it to him. Just give him the ball and let him use his speed to go outside.
Guy has 5 kickoff return touchdowns in his career. Katie.
Thanks, Des. Coach Lee, after the turnover on downs, what do you think of your offense's response to get you a couple extra points before half?
Oh, that was a huge drive and really well executed by our offensive staff and Diego. So that's good momentum for us going to half. Obviously, getting possession coming out will be an important drive for us.
After the 4th and 1, your defense holds them to a field goal. How do you continue to slow down the LSU offense?
It seems like the defense is settling in. I liked how they finished that half. I think obviously they got the long touchdown on the screen where we were blitzing. That's going to happen. We just need to keep playing the way we're playing. I like the way the defense line getting rushed. I think we're doing better against the run. We got to come out and score and give our defense a chance to make some big stops for us so we can win a game.
Thanks for the time.
Thanks so much.
Well, his star quarterback, Diego Pavia, has 37 yards rushing and a touchdown run, 124 yards passing. The Capital One halftime report with Kevin and Booger coming your way right now.
Guys, thank you. Capital One halftime report here with Booger McFarland. LSU's given up more than 10 points once this season, and that was a loss to Ole Miss. Right now down 17-13. And, Boog, the big storyline here, when you look at the Commodores, Diego Pavia and the mobility. What have you seen so far?
Well, okay, first of all, he's throwing the football well to the tight ends down the field. But if you're the LSU defense, you have to figure out a way to limit Diego Pavia, especially when he's in an obvious passing situation because he's using his legs. Here we have a third down. LSU's playing man coverage. The C parts open, and Diego Pavia takes it down to the 1-yard line. That's a killer for a defense. Again, man coverage, somebody loses contain. The corner and Harold Perkins lose contain. You can't do that when you're blitzing a quarterback. This is how you do it. Not win weeks, but little weeks, tracking down Diego Pavia. If you're LSU, when you go into halftime, you got to cover the tight end, and you got to figure out a way on crucial downs, crucial situations. Diego Pavia is going to use his legs. You have to figure out a way to take that away.
You mentioned little weeks because Big Brother Whitney's not playing in this game. Pavia taking advantage of that with that scrambling ability as well as using the tight ends. And right now, it's Vanderbilt with a 4-point lead. Meanwhile, Oklahoma taking on South Carolina, and this is on the SEC Network. Sooners coming off their first loss of the season. John Mateer, big first down.
And it's good to see John Mateer back playing well. He didn't play well last week in the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma bouncing back. Anytime they can run the football, Mateer can throw the football accurately. They're going to be tough to beat.
That is Torrey Blaylock going in, and then Xavier Robinson, little and then held on, and then goes up the gut.
Somebody needs to tell South Carolina, this is tackle football, not two-man touch football. Bad tackling
It's been a long season so far for the Gamecocks. They're down 14-0. Hey, the long season, it turned into one last night for Miami. The number 2 team in the country goes down. What happened to the Canes? Boog will explain after this.
This halftime report is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Ranked versus ranked on the SEC on ABC as ABC College Football is presented by Starbucks. A 17-13 lead for Vanderbilt. Alexander and Pavia with touchdown runs. Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer with you. They should do this ranked versus ranked thing here more often. It's only been 3 times in 75 years. What a game.
Pretty good. And I'm really impressed so far with Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt, their offense. They've only had the ball 4 times, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They've been really up and down the field. Pavia right now providing a lot of problems for LSU throwing and running the football.
Yeah, of course, this city, some people call it Nash Vegas, and there has been a roll the dice kind of feel out of Vanderbilt today, of attack, of jump them off the bus, of get to action. And LSU will be kicking away to start off this second half. Today's unstoppable performance presented by Ram Truck.
Well, Pavia early in the game, really good on 3rd down. Here's 3rd and 4. You got a little middle flood concept. He gets through his progression. He finds Spence, the tight end, over the middle of the field, move the sticks. The next 3rd down, really nice job in protection by Vanderbilt. 3rd and 8, Stowers outside on the corner out, makes a gorgeous grab. And then 2nd and long soon after. LSU not staying in their pass rush lanes. Pavia makes a pay, gets it down to the 1-yard line. He would later score in a quarterback sneak. And so he's really feeling it. He's in a rhythm right now, doing it both with his arm and his legs.
There was a day on Diego Pavia so far. Had an excellent run on 2nd and long to set up the short touchdown run. Cedric Alexander, he had a 4th and goal touchdown run himself. Katie?
Cedric Alexander on the carry.
Well, Tess, coming out of the locker room, Brian Kelly said his defense has to be much better getting off the field on 3rd down. He said that was a killer in the first half, and he said it's not necessarily anything that Vanderbilt's doing schematically. He said this is about us, our lack of execution. So that was a point of emphasis with Vandy getting the ball here. Get off the field on 3rd down.
And Katie, right now, one of his key players who would help them get off the field on 3rd down is Jack Pyburn, and the medical team is out to see him. And Jesse, he is one of these guys. He played at Florida, but off the edge, he just is a high motor revving guy off the edge.
And he's very physical, very good against the run, helping the defense set the edge. And he's got some pass rush too in their game and win against South Carolina. He could have had 4 sacks in that game. Lenore Sellers, obviously a really hard guy to bring down, but no question. We talked about how this defense got a lot better in the portal, in the back end and up front. Jack Pyburn, one of those big pieces.
See, Vandy scored on 3 of the first 4 drives. There was a turnover on downs that led to an LSU field goal, and then Vandy managed the clock well in the final moments before halftime to get a field goal of their own. Alexander went for 8 yards to open up this second half. And now the jet motion as they do give it to Richardson. And Richardson kept his balance and breaks a tackle for extra yardage. It's a first down.
We talked earlier how they use jet motion as a way to create spaces in the defense. But in order for it to work, you got to hand it off sometimes. You got to make sure the defense plays you honest and knows that Richardson, who ran a 10.3 100-meter dash in high school, is a viable threat. So good job there using the jet, because now they can keep using that motion as the second half goes on, and LSU has to respect it.
Former All-American at the Division II level, as Richardson went ahead for 12 yards. Pavia slings it downfield as Richardson was streaking out of bounds.
I love Vanderbilt coming out aggressive, though. And I think one thing I remember Clark Lee talking about was at halftime at Bama, all knotted up, he felt like his team came out tight. And they played in the second half afraid to lose. The key in this game now, you're up in the second half against LSU, a top 10 opponent. Stay aggressive. It doesn't mean you're more relaxed and more loose, but play to win the game. If the shot opportunities are outside, like what you saw in that last play, you absolutely call and take those shots.
He's got a quarterback who's not bashful when it comes to aggression and risk. And does he ever believe? 2nd and 10. Pavia connects right over the middle to Cole Spence, who's played a big role so far today.
These tight ends both have Spence and Stowers, and they're doing a lot of their work over the middle of the field. Really good job just settling down. And how nice is it when you have a 5'10" quarterback to have a 6'7" tight end? It makes it so much easier to see over the middle of the field, and that's an easy pitch and catch. Strong side of that offensive line is down here to the right.
They're down in 2. And that is where they will run with the option and the pitch to Young. And here goes M.K. Young. Jump play, doors.
Well, they got great blocks down the field. Stowers, the tight end, gets one block. Piper's going to have to take the QB, which pitches it out here. Watch the key block by Stowers. He's made some good plays here catching the football, but you just got to get a hat on a hat. He's able to occupy the defender. That's A.J. Halsey on the back end. They run to the right side. Remember, Vanderbilt flip-flops the O-line. The strong side are their best run blockers, and that time they lined up right.
I love how you've explained that, make it digestible, and then it comes to life right there. That was their 4th 20-plus yard chunk play of the afternoon. 28-yard run as the jet motion here with Richardson as he gets to the outside for a good gain.
Well, and the guy Diego Pavia is reading on this play is Harold Perkins, and if he thinks he can get this guy blocked, he's going to hand it this way, and that's where his eyes go. Number 7, he got the lead block by the running back, just needs to get a piece of him to allow the speed of Richardson. On 2 jet sweeps now, we've seen him on this drive, now attacking LSU's perimeter in the run game.
And it gives you an attacking down and distance to manage. A 2nd and 2 as you see M.K. Young and Alexander sharing the backfield with Diego Pavia. Alexander, somehow, some way, he dragged Harold Perkins ahead for a gain when it looked like he could be tackled for a loss. And with that, it's 1st and goal, Vandy.
I mean, Harold Perkins is a hard guy to get away from. He shoots this gap with his speed, but you see the tough one-cut running style of Cedric Alexander. Great job getting that first down. And this is an area of the field where he's a big weapon as well, down in the red zone, catching the football. 4 receiving touchdowns for him. That leads all running backs in the nation.
Leads the SEC in total touchdowns, does Alexander. There is Perkins. What a matchup we have here in Nashville. Running back and linebacker. Here's the option. Here's Alexander looking for anything as he just lowers the shoulders to the 4-yard line. Halsey makes the tackle.
And Diego Pavia was trying to lead for him out there as well. He doesn't not only slide when he has the football, but when he doesn't have it, he's oftentimes trying to throw blocks and just get a body somewhere. Watch number 2. Pitches it, and now he turns upfield, and He gave a little bit of a shoulder to Harold Perkins, not much, but you see some of that, the attitude that Pavia has at the quarterback position. Just don't make a lot of guys like him.
That was a high school wrestler. He talked to me for about a half an hour about trying out for WWE after his pro football career. He doesn't mind it. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Pavia on the boot, looking for that pylon, and they are going to mark him just short. He was pushed out by Jack Pyburn, who's back out on the field.
Wow, and they're trying to get the play action fake to freeze LSU, but the speed of LSU, and Jack Pyburn specifically right here, he's not fooled. He takes on a block and immediately changes direction to go get to Pavia. Remember, he got knocked out of the game earlier in this drive, and the Florida transfer back out there with their back against the wall.
3rd down and goal from the 1-yard line as Orion Irving, the 320-pound extra tackle, has come into the game. Pavia to the end zone, wide open touchdown, Cole Spence.
It was the play fake by Pavia that froze Devon Keys and Harold Perkins. And that was just too easy. Sneaking Cole Spence into the back of the end zone. What can you say about this Vanderbilt offense today? They are up and down the field, and the tight ends, they've been doing so much of the damage.
Taylor adds the extra point. The last time Vanderbilt beat LSU, it was 1990. 24-13 right now, Jess.
Whether it's out in the field or down in the goal line, Spence and Stowers making their presence felt. Diego Pavia is feeling it. All the momentum on Vandy's side. LSU has got to answer when we come back.
Yeah, that's a happy Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of the Live Más student section of the year. Who will take home the trophy this year? So that's the student section. But let me tell you where the hang is, right? The hang is in the Pavia section with his brother leading the way down there. Barian Brown on the return for LSU. Of course, he is very dangerous as a flag comes down.
Bringing the heat, brought to you by Sonic, and Garrett Nussmeier has done a very good job under duress. If you're going to be a pocket passer, you got to throw people in your face. That was a completion over the middle of the field. This one he completed a curl route, and then on a touchdown to Trey Green. Vandy bringing the safety blitz. He got a linebacker right in your face. He's able to negotiate the defender and find a way to get that to number 14. Really impressed with the toughness Garrett Nussmeier has been showing in this game against what's been a very aggressive Vanderbilt group.
There's Nussmeier's day. Right now he finds himself down 11 points. Top 10 LSU against this fired up Vandy team here in Nashville. Nussmeier quick to the outside to Green, and Green will go ahead for the first down. This place is rocking here. This little stadium with so much energy, but especially Diego Pavia's family and his brother is like leading the way. There's just a vibe going on down there. It's sort of like Project X or like a little super bad hangover all merging there in New Mexico style, but it is a vibe down there.
We've gotten to the point now in NIL, and players are getting paid now, where it's like they get their own suites and they get their own sections and boxes at games, and the Pavia section off the chain.
I regret missing that tailgate this morning. There's Harlem Berry on the carry on first down.
Well, LSU found a little bit of success running with Harlem Berry, and can they sustain it is the big question mark. Play action has got to be a big key for them as they're trying to claw back into this game down 11 points. But the only way you get that play action is if you're able to run the football, and you know Vanderbilt's going to be honing in on that. Again, normally a very physical front seven, very hard to run against. They want to make LSU one-dimensional.
Second and 10. Nussmeier. As he gets it complete, and this is Aaron Anderson, who practiced this week, coming off the injury, was dinged up against Ole Miss, missed the second half of that game, missed last week with the elbow and knee.
Caden Durham gives up about, 30 pounds to this linebacker, Langston Patterson. He gives him everything he's got just to give Garrett Nussmeier the extra 1/10 of a second to get rid of that football.
Excellent 18-yard reception to Anderson, and now the deep shot, wanting more, but he overthrows Berrien Brown, incomplete, as Carter and Taylor had covered.
And I'm watching out there, Colby Taylor kind of got his left hand on Berrien Brown a few times. I think Garrett Nussmeier wanted pass interference. You see Brown at the top of the screen, there's the left hand there, and no flag. We saw a pass interference call early in the game. That doesn't feel too consistent with how this game has gone.
So no flag there, and it makes for a 2nd and 10. Juwan Johnson motions out. Nussmeier driven back, trying to spin free, and somehow gets it to Thomas. And Thomas maintains his footing. Xavier Thomas, oh, what a play! A 62-yard touchdown by Thomas. Incredible play.
It's a great job by Nussmeier, scrambling a bit, throwing it with Bradley Mann right in his face there. It flutters out into the hands of the Mississippi State transfer. And this is a guy who's taken 2 kicks to the house and a punt to the house in his career. So dangerous in the open field, bouncing off of tackles. And that's an explosive play LSU absolutely had to have. This thing is wild. And they're going for 2.
Nussmeier kept it alive. Thomas showed you how dangerous he is. And going for Dose, brought to you by Dos Equis, to try to make it just a field goal margin. Exceptional talent by Nussmeier, exceptional speed by Thomas. 2-point attempt here. Nussmeier looking right on the slant, and he gets it to Green. And just like that, the Tigers roar.
I love the play design by Joe Sloan. As soon as Trey'Dez Green goes out to wide receiver, everybody's thinking, here comes a fade. Here comes a jump ball to the 6'7" tight end. And instead, they run them on a slant route underneath it. And LSU gets back on the board with 8 points right when they needed it most. They bring him out here. Everyone's thinking it's going up here. Instead, he cuts underneath for the slant. And a fantastic play call by LSU, Joe.
92 yards on that drive. Just when Vandy had all the momentum, as Nussmeier took a big hit from Bradley Mann. And Xavier Thomas raced 62 yards. It's a 3-point game here in Nashville. Incredible sequence we just saw moments ago. The gutsiness of Nussmeier to get it to Xavier Thomas, the 62-yard touchdown, then the 2-point conversion. And Vandy back on offense. This is the last time they had the ball yesterday.
Yeah, they did a good job here with some options. Speed option, Diego Pavia getting MK Young outside for a big play down by the goal line. Little bootleg by Pavia, just getting him down to the 1-yard line. And then after a little play fake, the sneak out Spence, tight end. You know, and it's interesting. I remember talking to Clark Lee, what all of us were this week. He said, keys to victory. And he said, I think 24 points is the threshold. If we can get 24, whoever gets it wins. But seeing the way these offenses are playing now, I think someone's going to need a lot more than that.
Yeah, he said it's about possessions. 24 points, they feel like they optimize their possessions and limit LSU's. But you just have the sense this game is taking a very different tone as Cedric Alexander drives ahead.
A good example of physicality by Vanderbilt that time. Again, going to the strong side over here. They're just collapsing this whole side of LSU's D-line. The bigger bodies that time lined up on the right side, just being more physical, and these running backs, it's a 9-yard gain.
And also good work from Eli Stowers, their tight end, as he was finding some work on the second level. MK Young now the running back in place of Alexander on 2nd and 1. Young will test that right side, and he will have the first down for the Doors.
And we talked, Joe, about how Vanderbilt flip-flops, and we talked to offensive coordinator Tim Beck about the advantages. He said there's actually a recruiting advantage, we feel like, because NFL teams want linemen that have played on the right side and left side. You can play in multiple stances with multiple footwork and different positions, and that's a big advantage Vanderbilt gets, and they can recruit that not just in high school, but in the portal as well. You see just how well their offensive line has done this well, particularly in pass protection. 5 sacks allowed. I know they gave one up in this game, but that's best in the conference.
Play clock counting down on Diego Pavia. MK Young, and he tries to get back to the line. Keys with the tackle.
And people are just joining us. Just to remind you about this flip-flop offensive line at Vanderbilt. They have a strong side guard and tackle and a quick side guard and tackle. The strong side always lines up to the side of the tight end. But when the tight end flips, then the strong side guard and tackle travel, and the quick side guard and tackle go to the other side of the field. The strong side guard and tackle are your best run blockers. The quick side guard and tackle are your best pass protectors, and they're a little bit more athletic with pulling. And we've seen that play out all season long to Vanderbilt's advantage.
Second down, Pavia able to stay. And then he pumps, and then he's going to run it himself, and he tried to leap ahead for that line to gain, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
I wonder how many times a game Tim Beck and Clark Lee hold their breath right. Every time number 2 takes the football, because this guy absolutely will never slide. 5'10", 207 pounds. He's just putting his body on the line. And when you hear coaches talk about how a guy galvanizes a team, when you do stuff like that, that's what helps elevate all the players around you. We talked about this team needing to stay aggressive. Don't get tight like they did in the second half against Alabama. That's a microcosm of what Clark Lee's talking about.
You see what they've done on 3rd down today. This is a 3rd and 1. Pavia is going to pull it and throw it downfield. A flag comes down as it's incomplete. Stowers was the intended target.
I don't know if they're going to get Halsey for pass interference here on this or not. That seems to be where the referee was when he threw that flag.
Remember, this was 3rd and 1.
There is no foul on the play for defensive pass interference. 4th down.
I think that's a good no call. You know, watching those replays, when I saw it live, I didn't think there was any. How about the job by Halsey, by the way, punching it loose with his right hand? We talked about how this secondary so much better than the first 3 years in Brian Kelly's tenure. Going to the portal, getting to Marcus Cooley, A.J. Halsey, Mansour Delane, that has paid off big.
It is this kind of day in this kind of a game. For the 2nd time today, Vandy stays on the field offensively for a 4th down on their own side of the field.
Just one of those deals where you just try to draw them offside, and if you don't get it, you call a timeout and punt.
They got stops and a turnover on downs last time in this spot. It is 4th and 1. They're going for it. Here's Pavia, 4th and 1. What magic does he have left? Are you kidding me? MK Young dashing and dancing and getting a 1st down. Don't you just love ball?
Everybody's eyes are on Diego Pavia. Everyone forgets about the running back. When Pavia starts to scramble, it looks like Jack Pyburn has him in his grasp. He's not able to get him down. Pavia extends the play, and they get the 1st. Look at everybody from LSU going to the right.
It's LSU. Please reset the game clock for 3 minutes, 36 seconds. 3, 3, 6.
Jack Pyburn has got to be pulling the hair out of his head right now because that's the 5th sack he's barely missed in their last 2 games. But Pavia just too elusive, just way too elusive. That is just like backyard football. In the biggest moment of the game. I'm going to say this right now. The 2028 Olympics, and we've got a flag football team, Diego Pavia could be the starting quarterback for Team USA and win a gold medal.
And he would be a media darling and a marketing mastermind. Make that happen, Jesse Palmer. How fun is this game? Newberry, as he takes it ahead for a couple yards. Katie, what's up?
Yeah, Tess, just a note on Vandy's run game. Cedric Alexander just left the team box. He headed into the locker room. I'll keep you posted.
All right, so Cedric Alexander, who has 10 total touchdowns to lead the SEC, had a 4th and goal from the 1 touchdown. Katie gives you the update. We see A.J. Newberry, the running back for Vandy.
I mean, the good news for Vandy, you got M.K. Young at 210 pounds, A.J. Newberry a 200-pounder as well. They like the physical runs in between the tackles, but not having Cedric Alexander. His pass-catching ability, that is a big miss right now for Vandy.
2nd and 8, and there was some movement.
False start. Number 50 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's a 340-pound person wearing glasses in this game, and he has bad intentions. We've seen him all.
Chase Mitchell can do whatever he wants.
Whatever he wants and wear whatever he wants. Throughout this game, he's come up with key block after key block. They need him now, though, in the second half here. Hanging on to a 3-point lead. They have to be able to run the football. Just can't have those pre-snap penalties.
Just the 3rd penalty on Vandy today. This after the incredible 4th down conversion we saw moments ago. Now a 2nd and 13 after LSU had the dazzling 62-yard touchdown by Thomas. Pavia downfield, and it's incomplete, and a flag does rein in as Spears had coverage on Hoskins.
Spears is in the slot, lined up one-on-one, and he does get a pull of the jersey.
Number 10, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
It's a really good job by Pavia in the pre-snap, finding the right matchup. You've got a receiver against a safety running a deep route like that. It's a good route there by Hoskins, and an easy flag for the referee to throw.
So a 1st down for Vanderbilt as they march on.
It's so interesting to watch Vanderbilt in this era of college football where everybody's up-tempo, trying to get in the line of scrimmage, run as many plays as you can. Vanderbilt is very deliberate. They substitute, they huddle, they take their time getting out of the huddle, they line up, they move guys around, they make checks, trying to own time of possession.
Jet motion, they fake it, they hand off on the inside with M.K. Young instead, who's tackled by Weeks. Well, let's look at the time of possession because this was a point of interest when it came to Clark Lee, talking about optimizing possessions, limiting LSU 27 minutes to 15.
Yeah, and in order to have that kind of time to possession, obviously you've got to be able to run the football, but you got to throw a lot of completions as well. And Diego Pavia has been accurate in this one. They've been really, really good on 3rd down, just staying on the field, and they're taking their time. They're never hurrying, never rushing. They've just been so efficient on every drive outside of one. They've scored points.
2nd and 4. Pavia. He gets it to Sherrill. And let's see where they mark this. And it will be a 1st down for Vandy as DJ Pickett made the tackle.
I really do like the accuracy of DJ Pavia. He's completed 71% of his throws this year, 2nd in the conference. And he's a guy that can do it from the pocket. He can do it rolling out. He throws a very catchable ball. And the other thing about him, he doesn't have any off-target throws. He doesn't miss badly, you know what I mean? Every time he's throwing to someone, he generally puts it within their catch radius. And it's really impressive.
Gives his guys a chance.
Yeah, ball just never seems to hit the ground. There's been time and time again, both on schedule and off schedule today. He's been great.
Another 1st down for Vandy. Pressure off the edge. He steps up, and now he's going to run for the end zone and score. Diego Pavia.
And I don't know how Diego Pavia saw or felt this corner blitz from TJ Pickett, but at the last second, he's able to step up. And nobody out in front. Again, LSU getting out of their pass rush lanes, and that's the second time on a play just like that. Diego Pavia has hurt them when it's broken down, taken off, and this time scoring.
A 10.
ABC College Football, presented by Starbucks, is brought to you by Ram Trucks, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff. Nothing stops Ram.
Yeah, he did that. Diego Pavia just struck the Heisman pose here. It's October 18th, and like this thing's all over the map, right? I mean, Carson Beck threw 4 interceptions last night in a loss. Ty Simpson's on fire. We'll see what happens against Tennessee, but the energy and everything that Diego Pavia brings to this, he may be. This was the field goal before halftime by Brock Taylor, and then LSU and Vandy in the second half has been wild. Xavier Thomas with a 62-yard touchdown. And then after an outrageous 4th down conversion, Diego Pavia strikes the pose. Who knows, folks? But right now there's business to be done because this LSU team is talented, trailing by 10 here on the road in Nashville.
And just listen to this place right now, right? And the pressure that Diego Pavia and this offense have put on Garrett Nussmeier and LSU to consistently feel like you've got to answer them blow for blow. You've just got to score on this possession.
First time on record that Vandy's ever been favored against a ranked team, and they're up by 10 here. Harlem Berry to the outside as he is met near the 30-yard line that time by Sewell.
Yeah, there's a lot to like about this true freshman running back. He gives him an extra gear that time, showing his ability to get outside. But Marlon Sewell at safety for Vanderbilt comes flying down to make a stop. I don't know if LSU's going to win. I think it's going to have to come on the arm of Garrett Nussmeier.
We are headed to the 4th quarter. It's been since 1990 that Vandy has beaten LSU. They're up by 10 on the number 10 team in the country, the SEC on ABC. Presented by Starbucks. Returns after this message and a word from our ABC station.
We're on the sidelines with Clark Lee. Coach, you said you had to win time of possession. You need 24 or more points. You got both. What's it going to take to win this game?
Well, I guess now we got to close it out. So it's never going to be straightforward. I love the way our guys are competing. It's a game of action. It's a game of responses. Really great response from our offense. Need our defense to get a stop here, but I believe in these guys. So whatever comes, they're going to keep throwing their punches, and we're going to close this one out.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The former Vanderbilt fullback, now the Vanderbilt head coach, with a massive opportunity for his team here in the 4th quarter. Nussmeier and LSU, and here goes Green again. What a dangerous weapon for the Tigers. First down.
Yeah, Nussmeier's making good decisions in this game. When he's thrown over the middle of the field, that's been an area of concern. Forcing balls into traffic have led to a lot of picks, but in this one, seeing the field, he's having to throw under tons of duress. He's been very accurate. He's given this offense a chance.
13-yard reception for Green. Durham takes it straight ahead as he is tackled by Sidnor.
I think what's nice about the LSU offense, too, is you're sort of seeing the evolution of Trey'Dez Green. It's not just, hey, let's get you split out wide and throw you a jump ball. Let's formate you in different spots and let you run the route tree. And big tight end's doing that. You see the offensive coordinator, Joe Sloan, there. He's done a nice job, I think, utilizing his big weapon at tight end in this one.
6 times he's targeted him. 74 yards on 5 catches. Had the big touchdown earlier today. Second and 6. Nussmeier gets it out quickly to the edge, and it's incomplete as Brown couldn't hold on to it. Mark Davis with coverage.
And now sets up a big 3rd down, and you've got to be able to protect Garrett Nussmeier. You've got a backup left tackle in DJ Chester, who's had some issues one-on-one in this game, and really curious to see where Vanderbilt's going to take their best pass rusher, Corday Sidnor, the Purdue transfer, number 96. Looks like they've got him out to the right side working against the redshirt freshman, Weston Davis. He's got to look right now, the running back for LSU on that side to potentially chip.
Here's 3rd and 6, and Durham breaks free. Caden Durham tackled inside the 5, and LSU is back in business.
That time they brought Trades Green in motion. Vandy traveled with them this way. There's a big crease right up the middle, and they run right into the teeth of that Vandy defense. And Durham, I love just running under control and then opening it up.
Durham probing and trying to reach for that goal line, but marked short. A 51-yard run moments ago, and now a little bit of a scuffle down there that's instantly separated by David Smith, the referee, and his crew.
Good job by the refs here. Again, definitely a little chippy with this game going back and forth, and you got to be impressed with LSU and their resolve as well. Time and time again, Diego Pavia going to work. Garrett Nussmeier leading this offense now down the field. The goal line was where they had major issues against South Carolina. They fumbled. They also got stuffed. 1 touchdown and 5 red zone trips against the Gamecocks. They have got to come away with a touchdown here.
They're going to use a timeout. Could see them substituting and frantically looking over. But Caden Durham with a huge run to put them in position. He broke free for 51 yards. 2nd and goal when we return. Gunnar Stockton is getting set to lead the Georgia Bulldogs against undefeated number 5 Ole Miss. That is coming your way right here on ABC. What an incredible day of SEC football from start to finish as LSU is looking to close right back into this game. Their first red zone possession today. This game, Jesse, after a 51-yard run by Caden Durham on 3rd down.
Set him up into this situation. Now you got Trades Green, the 6'7" tight end, who in this situation, they love throwing jump balls to.
The whistles blow as he quickly got it to Thomas, but there was movement.
Prior to the snap, false start. 88 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Donovan Green, the backup tight end.
Yeah, there's the little flinch in his stance. And that time, everybody on defense, I think, thought it was going to Green, and instead they spit it back out the other way. The flinch is coming up here. So a wide open Xavion Thomas, who had the huge play in the 3rd quarter on the catch and run, and that pre-snap penalty, boy, that one really hurts. That was an easy walk-in touchdown, now wiped off the board.
Second and goal.
Here's Trades Green again down here at the bottom, 1-on-1. But that might be Nick Anderson.
Juwan Johnson, as he took the direct snap and went absolutely nowhere as Singh blew it up.
This is a 3rd down. It just feels like you absolutely have to have if you're Brian Kelly. What did Joe Sloan, the offensive coordinator, do? I mean, for Trades Green, this is where he's done his best work for LSU's offense. They've been very creative in where they put him, and it's lining him up right down here, just off the wing of the tight end. That's him running in motion.
3rd and goal. Top 10 LSU trailing by 10. Nussmeier looking for anything. Spins free back to the 22-yard line, and it's incomplete, intended for Parker.
Well, LSU ran the exact same play that they got the 2-point conversion on with Trades Green. This time, Vandy was ready for it. They had the coverage in the back end. Nussmeier tried to extend it. It's dangerous throwing this type of ball. This area of the field. Just kind of locking up over the middle of the field like that with Vandy defenders closing in on it. Lucky that one wasn't picked in the end zone.
Damian Ramos comes on for the short field goal attempt to try to make it just a touchdown margin. As he puts it through. So a 7-point lead now for Vanderbilt. as Garrett Nussmeier takes a breath, and Diego Pavia will get the ball back.
How good has Pavia been off schedule in this game? 69 rushing yards. A lot of them have come on pass plays here early. Nobody in LSU in the middle of the field. Bad pass rush integrity. Takes off. This is on a play where Harold Perkins was screaming off the edge. He eluded him and then actually ran away from one of the fastest linebackers in the country. And I don't know how he felt this corner blitz. Nice job by Bryce Henderson just getting a piece of him. But again, bad pass rush lane integrity. Diego Pavia able to get it done. It hasn't been the design QB runs. It's been the scrambles today. 71 yards.
Had the 20-yard run, had a 21-yard touchdown run. I think you mentioning Harold Perkins really sums it up, right? That number 7 jersey, an all-out speed player, so typical of LSU. Then Patrick Peterson and the Honey Badger, and a guy like Perkins trying to chase down an opposing quarterback, and he does that. Let's check in with Kevin and Booger. What's up, my man?
That's AT&T keeping fans connected as we take a look at our multi-view, showcasing a bunch of great games across our networks. Baylor TCU right now on ESPN2. It is under a lightning delay. TCU up by 2 touchdowns. We're keeping an eye on what's going on over on ESPN. Georgia Tech undefeated, a 3-point lead over Duke in the 4th quarter. Back to you guys.
Well, it's fascinating to think about how everything's been playing in the ACC. Saw last night what Louisville was able to do to Miami. And then here in the SEC, where it really feels like there is no bottom to the conference, that from top to bottom you have high-level competition. And, of course, what Vanderbilt has grown into now as Pavia and the Doors try to manage a 7-point lead. They go with the end around, as coming around is Richardson in space, and a flag comes down as he's taken down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was the quick guard. Aiden McConnell trying to get out wide to block Mansour and didn't do it legally.
Mansour the lane.
56 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
There is no 56 on offense for Vanderbilt. I think they meant number 70 there that time, Caden McConnell. And this is a big moment here for LSU's defense. They have got to find a way. Jack Pyburn, I'm watching him. He's kind of limping off the field. He just hasn't been the same here in the second half. He's gutting it out. He's trying, but they need all hands on deck to try to slow down Diego Pavia and try to get the ball back.
Remember, they are without Whit Weeks, the star linebacker. They are without Bernard Gooden, the star defensive tackle. And now Jack Pyburn out on the sideline here in the 4th quarter. Pavia. He's going to run it, and he will slide down just beyond the 20-yard line. And that was Patrick Payton pursuing him.
I think the thing you got to think about, again, if you're LSU, without all these key players up front on your D-line, it's not necessarily about sacking Pavia. You have to cage him.
Yes.
You have to keep him in the pocket and not let him get out and create the way he's been doing in the first half of the season, the way he's been doing the first 3 quarters of this game. You can affect him without necessarily getting him to the ground. You just got to force the ball out of his hands early, but keep him in the pocket.
These are defining downs and distance here with a 7-point margin. 2nd and 13. How do you get out of a hole? Pavia's going to run it, and he is tripped up, and that's exactly what can help LSU as P.J. Woodland makes a big tackle, and now an opportunity down for LSU's defense.
And you need Patrick Payton, the transfer from Florida State. He's your longest, twitchiest, most dynamic pass rusher, number 6. He's got to step up here in this type of situation. He's going to be lined up to the left side of the formation. He's a guy that has first-round traits and ability. Hasn't been as productive with respect to sacks as they have hoped, but this is a big play for him. Good to see Pyburn back out on the field for LSU as well.
Vandy's 5 of 9 on 3rd down. Alexander is back in the game at running back as well. This is a big 3rd and 12. Pavia gets it to Alexander, and he is tackled. LSU's defense does their job. Keys with the tackle.
Oh, Patrick Payton was the one that got in his face and forced the ball out of Pavia's hand quickly. Then LSU was able to rally, get to Alexander, and get him on the ground. And I think at the end of this play, you're going to watch the defender. I think it was Devon Keys. It looked like he kind of stepped on the ankle. I don't know if he did it intentionally or not, right there. I think Alexander took offense to that. Nothing called.
First punt of the game. The first punt of the game with 9 minutes to play in the fourth. As Thomas has the fair catch. That tells you what kind of game we've had. And there is high drama still ahead here in Nashville.
ABC College Football is presented by the Starbucks Coffee Company.
You know what's coming up next? It'll be Ole Miss against Georgia. Number 5 and number 9. The SEC on ABC continues. Then Saturday Night Football presented by Capital One is Tennessee and Alabama, a cigar game. Kirby all smiles right now. Of course, Lane Kiffin's on the other side of that today. They got a text thread. You know about that?
Yeah, I know about that one. Yeah, Kirby's, reminded himself. We talked about this week. They've got to start fast. That's been the problem for the Bulldogs this year. Slow starts at Tennessee, at home against Bama, last week at Auburn. Both sides of the ball. They've got to come out of the gate hot.
Hey, the LSU defense just got the best of Vandy, and now they turn it over to Garrett Nussmeier and the Tigers offense. And Nussmeier sacked. Nussmeier is brought down. Zaylen Wood was there.
And he absolutely bull rushed DJ Chester. I mean, you can't do it any better than this right here. Literally just runs right through the backup left tackle of LSU. Had no chance, did Nussmeier. And Katie's been doing a great job all game reporting on and updating us on Tyree Adams. Their starting left tackle is now out of the game, but in a situation like this where you've got to throw the ball to get back into it, that left tackle spot, that is big.
Of course, the O-line has been highly criticized this year, mostly for the run game, but in pass protection now without your starting left tackle, Patterson makes the tackle, and it'll be third down for LSU.
All the pass rushers now come on the field for Vanderbilt. Bryce Cowan at linebacker, Nick Rinaldi highlighted as an impact player out there as well. And the loudest this stadium has been all game long and the biggest third down of the game.
For those who've watched Vandy football for a long time, I know it's different. Third down and 16, and it's roaring here. Nussmeier's backed up again. Can he convert on a 3rd and 16? A flag is down as he goes downfield. It's complete to Brown, but we're going to check on this flag all the way back at the 12.
Oh, that is an unbelievable effort. It's going to come back because of a hold on Weston Davis.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
Weston Davis is one-on-one with Miles Caper. Weston Davis is going to be a good one, but he's only a redshirt freshman. The bottom of your screen, he just can't keep up with the speed. This was an unbelievable throw by Nussmeier, too, by the way. Throwing it back across his body, rolling to his right. That would have been a first down, but because of the penalty, you see Nussmeier's reaction.
There is Weston Davis. Of course, Emory Jones off to the NFL. Will Campbell off to the NFL. So this younger offensive line and dealing with the injury today. And now 3rd and 26. And with that, they go with the draw play. And they will be punting away as this clock is coming up on under 7 minutes to play. Singh had the tackle.
That's big because for LSU's defense, they've got to get the ball back, but they've got to get it back quickly. Vanderbilt all game long has had long, sustained touchdown drives. None lasting less than 5 minutes and 44 seconds. So there's a huge sense of urgency now. If you're LSU on defense, you need a 3 and out.
First punt of the day for LSU. Chadwick strikes it. And the fair catch near the 43-yard line by Height. Well, you remember the burst onto the scene moment a year ago. It came against Alabama. They were #1 in the country, but Diego Pavia and the upstarts at the time shocked the world. 131 games Vandy has played all time against the top 10. They have 6 wins. 6 against 131. Here they are against top 10 LSU with a touchdown lead and 6.5 minutes to play, Jesse.
I think if you're Vanderbilt here, you're trying to run the ball. You're trying to get Diego Pavia outside, moving the pocket, run pass options. Keep this clock ticking.
Let's see if they can do that. Or will LSU get another chance? Pavia. He can't go anywhere. He is tackled for a loss by Jack Piper.
That's one that I think Diego Pavia has to hand off. In his zone read rules, he's reading Jack Pyburn, who stayed home. If Jack Pyburn crashes, then Pavia keeps it. But this time he stays there. That's a handoff. That's a give to the running back. We've seen great decision-making by Pavia in this one, throwing and running. That's one, though, that I think he wishes he had back.
Pyburn has been in and out of this game. Dinged up just a little bit, but giving a great effort down the stretch here. Under 6 minutes to play, 2nd and 13. Pavia, back to pass, trying to spin free, and he throws it away in a diving effort by Cole Spence.
Reception made by Cole Spence.
How many great catches have Vanderbilt tight ends had in this game? It's unbelievable. First off, I don't know how Pavia avoided the corner blitz. It was a great job by P.J. Woodland, just forcing it out of his hand. Full extension from a guy who's 6'7". Everything to get that catch, and now at least make this 3rd down manageable.
Third down and 6. And LSU's defense get off the field. Can Pavia and Vandy milk this clock? 3rd and 6. Pavia with a man in space wants more than 6, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Richardson.
Pavia had his fastest player on offense, Trey Richardson, one-on-one with a safety, Tamarcus Cooley. It's a perfect throw, and Richardson just can't hold on to it. Not only did they not get the explosive play, Joe, but the incompletion stops the clock. And now LSU is going to get the ball back with 2 timeouts and a lot of time.
Haberer to punt. Sidewinder of a punt goes inside the 5 and into the end zone. 4 minutes and 40 seconds for Garrett Nussmeier, trailing by 7 for top 10 LSU with the ball back.
After LSU's last series, Brian Kelly made a beeline to his offensive line and spent some time talking with that position group. Jesse, what do you need to see from the big man up front if you want to get a drive going if you're LSU?
Katie, you hit it right on the head. They have got to be able to protect Nussmeier, and that's the big question. You got your backup left tackle in the game. You got a redshirt freshman at right tackle in the game. Can you help out on the edges in any way, shape, or form to help out your quarterback?
So Tyree Adams over on the sideline, out injured. DJ Chester's been filling in, and they go empty. So they try to get into space right away, and it's a tackle for loss as Johnson was brought down by Mark Davis.
Well, they went empty. Vanderbilt just put 8 guys in the back end, and nobody blocked the outside defender, Mark Davis. Look at that. You got 2 tight ends out there, 2 big guys, but they don't block them. That's just a missed assignment, and now a big negative play for LSU early in the drive.
Loss of 3 yards. Nussmeier, again a 3-man rush, quick to the outside, tackled right away is Thomas.
It's really interesting, Joe. They're not leaving running backs back there at tight ends in to help the tackles. They're just trusting Nussmeier to get rid of it quickly, to see the pressure, and know where his hot answers are against the pressure. And this big 3rd down now, again, no tight ends attached. So with the running backs on a scan, you've got to help out these tackles.
3rd down and 8. Defensive back blitzes right in his face, gets it out, and it is incomplete. Berrien Brown tried to dive back towards Nussmeier to catch that ball as Jalen Lackey was coming in with pressure on Nussmeier.
Great job by Gregory, the D coordinator by Vanderbilt, because he knows E.J. Chester, the left tackle's had a lot of issues. So he shows blitz to that side and then actually bails out over here, and the pressure's actually coming on this side. It's a really good cat and mouse game, but Gregory won that time. It forces the incompletion and the LSU punt.
A 3 and out after earning the opportunity and getting the ball back. A 3 and out. Grant Chadwick, his second punt. And he drives this all the way back, and Height returns it. And Height makes the most of it as he makes it all the way over the 40-yard line.
Well, it's been a wild back and forth. It's a bit of a broken play, fortuitous for LSU. Xavier Thomas doing a great job after the catch. Ends up taking it the distance for a score. Made that a 3-point game in the third quarter, but Diego Pavia right away leading his team down the field on a scramble, Heisman flex. Those are the big moments here late in this game. Right now, Vandy holding on to a 7-point lead. And I guess the question, if you're LSU defense, you got a 3 and out last time when you need it. Can you do it again?
Well, you see the type of game we had offensively for the first 12 drives, and now the last 4 drives, 4 punts. And that is what LSU's defense needs right now to stop Diego Pavia, who has 72 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. 2 timeouts remain for LSU. Of course, we do have the 2-minute timeout as well. As Young finds a seam, M.K. Young anchored down.
McConnell, the quick guard, gets a great down block right here, and then they pull the strong guard, Chase Mitchell, the other way, and that creates the seam. And M.K. Young stepping in for an injured and banged up Cedric Alexander hits the Jets, gets into the second level, and a massive explosive play now has Vandy at the 15-yard line.
A 43-yard run as Pavia is met at the line of scrimmage.
We're just going to milk this all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Unless LSU takes a timeout here, which they do, and that's a smart timeout call by LSU, because you know you've got another one in the bag with the 2-minute timeout.
So many LSU fans have made the trip here to Nashville to see their top 10 Tigers against Vanderbilt, a team that has such confidence, a team that was built from the ground up by Clark Lee with a culture that has overcome this institutional apathy, as Clark Lee has called it, where losing manifests in so many ways. And he said to us yesterday, it would build and attach like a plaque and grow on Vanderbilt. He has chipped it away. He has cleaned it up. He has gathered a bunch of players who really believe, and he said it is his quarterback, Diego Pavia, who was one of the first that didn't flinch when he put forth the plan, that was convinced from the start of what's possible here at Vanderbilt. LSU 1 timeout remaining. Pavia spins out of it as he goes against the grain to gain positive yardage.
Well, smart decision not to throw that away, because you want this clock ticking. You want to get this thing down as much as you can and force LSU to use its final timeout, which they just did. So heads-up play there by Diego Pavia.
Grant Nussmeier just had a chance moments ago, but it was 3 and out. Brian Kelly's looking up at that clock and saying, how do we manage things? No timeouts. And the 7-point differential for now. Tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown. Well, speaking of LSU and quarterbacks, an NFC East showdown between Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott on Sunday NFL Countdown they will get into. That starts at 10 a.m. Eastern. Monday Night Football is a doubleheader at 7 p.m. Bucks and Lions on ABC. And then, Katie, you're heading out to Seattle, right? 10 o'clock for Texans Seahawks.
Yes, sir. Should be a good one.
That is Monday Night Football. Doubleheader, but for right now, can Vandy close it out? Can Vandy overcome so much history attached to them?
Right here, Joe, if you're LSU, stay in your pass rush lanes. Diego Pavia has killed you when they've gotten out of it.
3rd down and 7. LSU has exhausted all of their timeouts. Pavia is going to run straight ahead. Pavia, first down, Vandy.
And it's smart to go down because now the game is over. He understands exactly how much clock is left. You get that first down. Again, LSU gets out of their pass rush lanes. It has killed them over and over in this game. And Pavia, instead of trying to put the body on the line and break a tackle and dive into the end zone, understanding that wins the game. You can go victory formation now. This thing's over.
So much to summarize all the history that Vanderbilt has overcome. And Diego Pavia, he said he would, and he has. What a day in Nash Vegas. You got to go back to 1990 for the last time that Vanderbilt beat LSU. A top 10 LSU team that came here to Nashville with such high hopes, with a loaded defense, and with a quarterback you just saw in Garrett Nussmeier, who said the back half of the season offensively is going to be different. But opposite a feisty, confident, brash, and bold Diego Pavia, who looked into our camera and said, game over. And meanwhile, Nussmeier on the other sideline being consoled for the effort he put forth today that came up short.
We got to give Vanderbilt tons of credit because they did exactly what Clark Lee, the E. Bronson Ingram chair of football at Vanderbilt, that's what they call their head coach, has been preaching them to do. Possessed the football, no penalties, only had 4. They were great in the red zone, Joe. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, didn't turn it over. And Diego Pavia was Diego Pavia. And that's the recipe for success.
You know, it's interesting, Jesse. We talked to Clark Lee yesterday. He said, we are a far better team right now than we were a year ago. A year ago, there were a lot of non-believers. And then there was the ultimate field stormer when they beat Alabama. It's interesting to think about this game, of how the crowd reacts.
I agree.
Is it a field stormer, or is it a, you know what, we're really good and we beat ranked teams?
It's a really good litmus test to find out what the expectations actually are now, because if there's no field storm, that means there's been a change in what those expectations are. Let's see.
There's also more security because they expect wins like this. Hey, Vandy is 6-1 for the first time since 1950. Today was the first time that Vandy was a favorite against a ranked team. And Coach Clark Lee is there with Katie George, and they will be celebrating in Nashville tonight.
Thanks, Tess. Coach Lee, your offense rolled for 3 quarters, and then your defense got you the stops when you needed it most. How complete of a performance was this today?
It's a reminder that it's a team game, and you know, I didn't love the explosive plays that we were giving up in the second half defensively. That's the one thing we couldn't do. Offense held the line, and then the defense stepped up the end. Special teams with a big return there to set us up with field position. Yeah, really proud of our team.
I know how much this program means to you. What does it mean to you to give this fan base moments like this?
Oh, it's special. I worry first with the team. I like the team have moments like this, and we'll bring the crowd along with us. But this community deserves this. The school deserves it. The players deserve it. They earned it today. Today was our day, and I can't wait to celebrate with them.
What can you say about Diego Pavia's performance?
He's a dog. I mean, I don't know what to say. He was a magician out here, and he gave us opportunities when it didn't look like there was anything there. So can't say enough about the 4th down conversion that they had. I mean, there were so many plays in there, but yeah, it was a team win, though, and Diego will be the first to say that.
Congratulations. Best of luck moving forward.
Thanks so much.
Diego the dog. I like that. And he played like a dog today with a passing touchdown with a lot of bite and bark to him. And Jesse, 86 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns by Pavia.
He was just so good in this game off schedule. I know after the Alabama game, that really sat with him for an extra week during the bye. The 2 big turnovers in the red zone. He could not wait, Joe, to get back out here on the field against a top 10 opponent and just show the world what he and what this football team are all about. And they did that here today.
Katie is with the dangerous dog, Diego.
Diego, congratulations. What was this performance like for you and this team?
Well, I feel like few weeks, and I really wasn't just being myself, you know. And I wasn't really chasing God. And so he was there to humble me, you know. And so Eli was there to tell me, like, where I was making the mistake, you know. And that's where I was making the mistake. And I just got back on path. Obviously, no one's perfect. But I just want to chase him and encourage everyone to chase him. You know, that's a better life out there.
You struck a Heisman pose right in front of your family section. How much does it mean to you to have your mom and that support?
Well, I'll tell you what, I think there's, 170 out there?
Yeah.
170 from New Mexico, friends, family. You know, they're just true supporters. And so I'm really thankful for this. But this team is just so special, you know. Everyone's got each other's six, you know, and if no one has their six, I must be dead.
Best of luck moving forward. Congrats.
Guys. Thank you.
Diego Pavia, what a performance. And Clark Lee, the coach who believed, the former Vandy player, who said, listen, no slogans, no catchy phrases on the weight room wall, no acronyms, just winning. That's what they're doing now. They just beat top 10 LSU 31-24. For Katie George and Jesse Palmer, I'm Joe Tessitore, inviting you to enjoy the rest of your day, including Ole Miss and Georgia, and a visit with Kevin Gandhi in the college football scoreboard right now. He posed, he delivered. Diego did it. Vandy wins. They're going to be having a big night here in Smashville.
Great stuff there.